All right. Thank you. Thank you. One more time for all the comics you've seen tonight. Make it a little loud for them. Yeah. So beautiful. Look at this. We're here, St. Louis. All right. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to call you that, but I already said it. Thanks so much for coming out to the mall. Look at us. Isn't this fancy? This is why I argue with people that are like, comedy's an art. And I'm like, it's at the mall a lot. I don't know if that's where art goes, you know? I like it. And we're downstairs, so that made it cool, you know? Came in upstairs and I'm like, no, the artsy stuff happens down there. Yeah, up here it smells like farts, but down there, it's gonna smell better. I'm glad I'm not the only one that smelled that. Good Lord. What was that? There's like a good 30 seconds where I'm like, is that me? Like, what did I do? That wasn't me. Had some ice cream earlier, but that shouldn't be causing all this. This is more broccoli induced if my nose is on par. I like it. This half was definitely here when I walked in. This half, listen you guys, at a certain time it smelled like broccoli farts up there. And everyone had to walk in and talk to people like they weren't smelling it. I had to walk in and go, I'm the comedian. And that's not me. I don't know what that is, but that's not me. That's not what I'm bringing to the table. That's very nice. I'm looking forward to one time I'm going to do a weekend out here in St. Louis, and I'll get to explore your town some. But I don't get to. The couple times I've been, it's been one-nighters, so I just know the drive. I just know that I come up from that way, and then I see the arch, and I'm like, that's it. That's it. And then I drive past that, and I'm like, all right, that was it. All right. And then I got to know more stuff about it. I don't know enough about St. Louis. I know you guys got baseball teams historically very good. Historic, right? They had all the championships written on the stadium. You guys laughed like, no. Listen, I don't know how they're doing now, but they look like they did some stuff throughout history. I don't know if you guys are that's the kind of sports fan I am. Like, I just want to see them win once, and I'm good forever. I know that's not a popular sports fan take, but like, when I moved from Hungary, we lived in Pittsburgh for the first few years, so I became a Steelers fan. Sorry if that angers anybody. That's where we live. And I always wanted to see the Steelers win a Super Bowl. And then in 06, they won one, and I'm like, ah, all right. And then a couple years later, they won again, and I'm like, okay. And I'm cool if they never win a single game ever again for the rest of my life. I already had the joy. Like, do you ever think sports fans are being greedy? We're like, every year we have to be number one. And you're like, are you even enjoying the ones you won then? Is that even what you're... I can tell you guys don't agree. I can feel it. I understand that I have a really weird, dumb take on sports, but I'm like, you did it. Yeah, but what have you done for me lately? That's not how I treat things I love. All right? Like, things I love, they're allowed to make something good, and then they're allowed to make, oh, that's a good effort. I see what you were doing there. Like, I'm a fan, dude. When I like a band or something, I'm into, like, if they have a great album, yeah, and if their next one gets weird and experimental, I'm like, okay, yeah. That's what you were feeling in the moment. I'm with you. Like, I love Metallica, okay? I'm a big Metallica fan. And yes, they sound very different from the 80s than they do now, but that's fine. If you want that stuff, go put it on. That's what I don't like. Like, no, I want them to sound like it's 83. They were 18. Now they're 60-year-old millionaires. What do you want them to... How much can they sing about death? Like, their life is amazing. I can still feel it. Some of you agree with me, like, no, just give me the things I like. Win championships and make master of puppets. I don't know. We were talking about music in the back. That's why it's on my head. I like music. I can't do it, but I like it. Oh, but anyway, it's been a fun trip. Came in today. I've only been in town for a few hours, and I was in Evansville the night before. I was doing a show, corporate event. I was doing comedy for a company, and it was bad. It didn't go good. There's just a lot of employees, and there were nice audiences, but it was like a work function. I remember having a job where they'd be like, "Hey, come, it's not mandatory, but," and you know what I mean? Like, it's not mandatory, but we are going to take attendance, and and I don't even know that they did that, and everyone was super friendly, but it was like 300 people, but they picked a 1,500 seat theater to put it in, and so it just felt like I was auditioning for something. It just felt like I was auditioning for like a high school play, and we were all going to take turns to read a little of Othello and see who gets to play Othello. I just let you know that I don't know who's in Othello. And your response let me know you don't either. So that was good. I could have just played it off, and you could have been like, "Oh, I think he might be smart." I don't know. No, I read the headlines, not the articles. That's what I do. But yeah, I was in Evansville, and then I spent 2 days in Louisville leading up to that, which was great. That town, it's just a giant advertisement for bourbon. That's all it is. It's like the hotel was here and the club was there, and in my short walk was just like, "Come on in, have some bourbon. We have 108 bourbons." And you're like, "That's too many bourbons." Like, why? I'm not used to that. I'm used to bars that are like, "Hey, would you like a cold beer? Come on in. Have a cold beer. Why don't you watch the game? Hang out with a friend." And over there, they're like, "Hey, do you want to cry in front of strangers? Is that what you'd like to do?" I don't know what you do with a couple bourbons, but that's what I do. I get pretty emotional, and I'm not even sad. I'm just thankful. Like. That's what hard liquor does to me now. I don't know if that's an age thing. I don't know what it is, but I get a couple of whiskeys in me, and I'm like, "Oh, I do have great friends." And then my eyes start to well up, and I'm thankful for all of them. Oh, and my wife, she puts up with me. Oh, my mother, my sweet mother. And then once I start welling up about the cats, I'm like, let's reel it in. All right. Like, it's not wrong to love your cats that much, but we are in public. People are watching. Someone comes up, what are you going through? Miso. They're like, "Who?" "Oh, it's my cat." That's a nice hat. Is that your hat? That's a stylish hat. I like that. Sorry, that caught my attention. Everyone's got a look to them. I love it. You guys are dressed well. Like, yeah, very nice. I love the hat. I love the cardigan all the way through. Very cool. You look like you manage something. I like the whole. You look like you're in charge of something, right? Well, do you own a company? What do you do? You're retired. Yeah, you look like you're running that. What's on the schedule today? Nothing. That's what we're doing. No one's changing that schedule, buddy. What'd you do before you retired? You worked at a bank. Did you run it? No? All right. I'm misreading it. You look like you were over there like, "Yeah, this is my bank." I like it. I don't know. I've always had a good time at the bank. For the most part, right? I've always had a good time at the bank. Banks are different by neighborhood, I've noticed that. Like in my neighborhood, there was a guy screaming because he thought he lost something. And he's like, "No! God, no!" And he was just banging on the glass, and I'm like, "Oh, all right." Like, I was just there to get a new debit card. I lost my debit card, and I'm like, I think that guy's not paying rent this month. And then he found it, and then he's like, "I'm sorry for losing it." And you're like, well, we're all upset, We're all upset. The fake living room with the TV without a remote. Why would you do that? That's every bank. I sit down at the bank, and there's a bunch of nice couches and a TV, and you're like, "Where's the remote, dude? No one wants to watch this ad for Bank of America." So yeah. Anyway, it was nice in Louisville. It's been a nice trip all along. It's been very nice. Out there, I was with my buddy Josh. He's a little older than me, but he's my most immature friend. I hope everyone's lucky enough to have someone older than you that is more immature than you will ever be in your entire life. He's 43 going on 22. That's who he is. Just he travels with a duffel bag. Like, we flew out together, and he came with a duffel bag. And they've been putting wheels on luggage for like 30 years. All right, this is not a new invention. They've been slapping wheels on there for a long time, and he's just at the airport with a duffel bag. And we'd walk, and then we'd stop, and he'd just drop it. Just boom. And I'm like, what are you doing with a duffel bag? He's like, what do you mean? It's my luggage. And I'm like, get wheels, dude. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, get it, because he travels a lot for comedy, and you look like a professional traveler if you have wheels, a duffel bag. That just looks like you're being sent to live with your dad, you know? And you're like, oh, I gotta get over there. And that doesn't look like a round trip flight with a duffel bag. You're like, oh, he's not allowed to come back till he's better. Like, that's definitely a one-way trip. Like, one time I got bullied into buying all this protein powder at like a GNC. You ever go into like a GNC where they got all that stuff? This is when I was young. I was 18, and my buddy Dane came back from the gym, and he's got like 2 big grocery bags full of like protein powder and amino acids, a bunch of like fitness crap. And I was like, what the hell's all that? I thought you went to the gym. He's like, yeah. And then afterwards I went in to the GNC, and there's this jacked guy working there, and he like worked out this whole plan for me, and then I left with $156 worth of protein powder and supplements, and I'm like, cool, man. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I didn't want to buy any of this stuff. He was just like really intimidating, you know? And I was like, whoa, that sucks, dude. And then the more he thought about it, he's like, yeah, man, that guy really like bullied me. I didn't want to buy all this. He's like, I'm gonna go return it. And I'm like, cool. And I'm like, he's like, you want to come with me? And I was like, why? And he's like, he's intimidating. Can you just back me up? And I don't know if you can tell how big I am from where you're sitting, but my buddy Dane is 6'4". He's a big guy, and I'm like, I'm the backup, dude. And so I went with him just for moral support. He's my best buddy. I'm gonna go, and we went in there, and that guy was huge. He was like, not like ripped huge, but like the kind of huge where they throw stuff. You know, like sometimes you turn on the TV and you're like, that's the strongest man in the world. And he's like, he's kind of flabby, but all right. Like, he might be. And he just had like no neck, and he's just over there. And Dane's like, hey man, I came to return this. And he's like, what? You're returning this? And he's like, I spent 30 minutes here writing out this plan for you, and then you're gonna come back and return it? And he's like, yeah, I'm not, I don't want it, and yeah, I feel like he bullied me into it, and I don't want it. And he's like, that's ridiculous. He just kept harping on him that he spent so much time putting this plan together. And then he goes, you know another thing I don't like? He's like, I also don't like your buddy eyeballing me in the back right there. And I'm like, who's eyeballing? I'm not eyeballing. And then he goes, what are your fitness goals? And I'm like, what? And then he started talking to me. I ended up buying my buddy's protein. So he gave him a return on his card, and then he's running my card. And I'm looking at Dan, he's like, thanks, man. And I'm like, and then I went back with it. And I ended up choking down those amino acid pills. Maybe they work, but they didn't do anything for me, I'll tell you that. Anyway, that was a weird story, but it came up. I'm glad you went along with it. I appreciate that. I got a few more stories left to tell you, but the first thing, I didn't even say thank you yet. Thank you so much for helping me pack out this room on a Sunday. It means a lot. Thank you. It's a great feeling to sell the place out, especially when there's like a football game going on. And I was like, oh no. And then I was like, good, they all bought it before they knew. You know. Yeah, is it close? It just started.
No, I meant like the purchase decision.
Oh, the purchase decision. All right. I like it. Some people didn't come. Like, because the show's sold out, but there are some empty seats, which is, that's also what I like. That's why I like my audience. Like all of my audience, I feel, is, like, close to me. Like, you're like me in the sense that you're either around my age or just a little bit above. Like, there's not too many, like, people in their early 20s coming to see me. And I really like that. Like, I have some comedian friends that all their fans are like 22, and I'm like, that would be horrible. Because those people like expect the night of their lives. They're like, we're gonna have the night of our lives, and people my age and up are like, we're going, all right? Like, and that's what I want. I want some people that are like, this will be fine, you know? I want some, like, I know at least a good portion of this audience an hour before the show, you guys, one of you at home is like, we could stay in. Like, we don't have to go, you know? That's why I always want to keep my ticket prices at this level. Because that's enough money to where you're like, well, we could just stay in. We don't have to go. Like that's something new that's happening. Like I'm doing a couple bigger venues in Seattle, like Pacific Northwest, and some of those are being sold by Ticketmaster, and so I can go on the website and look at the seat map and see how many tickets have sold. And some people are like scalping the tickets, like they're doing the resale thing, and like the tickets are like 35 or 55, like, and then but they're selling them for like 200 or something. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I just hope no one buys them. That's what I hope. And then we can move people up and sit in there. Because, like, that's not fun for me. Because, like, I look at an audience of people that paid, like, 30 or 50 bucks, and they're like, we're going to have a good time. But, like, someone that's, like, 200 bucks in, they're like, this better be good. Like, that's... And I'm going to be able to tell, you know? I'm going to be able to tell on their faces, this guy, this better be good. And I'm like, I don't want that kind of pressure on me. I like skippable activities. That's what I like. That's how I live my life. My wife and I skip a lot of stuff. We went to Amsterdam for her birthday, and we were there like 4 days, and we had a canal tour scheduled for the third day, and we really should have done it the first day, because we had walked around, we'd seen the canals, and so the third day comes around, and Emma's like, what time's that canal tour? And I'm like, at 5, and she's like, how long is it, like an hour? And I'm like, 90 minutes. And she's like, how much were those tickets? And I told her, and she's like, let's skip it. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I love skipping stuff. Like, that's my favorite thing.
Hello, this is Zoltan Kaszas, and the year is 2025. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that mind-blowing? If you were just sent in from the past to the future, and this is how you're finding out the year, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. What the hell am I talking about? The point of this is I am on tour all year. It's what I do. A bunch of cities. I'm very excited to hit them all. If you'd like to see if I'm coming to a town near you, go to my website, zoltancomedy.com. There also might be a link in this video, maybe right over my eyes. I don't know what the editor is going to do with this. It could be in the description, what have you. But if it's not, zoltancomedy.com. Hit the shows tab, go down the list of shows, see if I'm coming to a town near you, and come see me so I can continue being a comedian and I don't have to go get a job where I'm a horrible employee. I've been told many times by numerous bosses. So please come out and see me and keep the dream alive.
It's fun. It's been fun out there traveling. All my cat people have been showing up. How many of my cat people are out here tonight? Yeah! Those are my folks. I love it. Thank you so much for coming out. Yeah, I'm still a cat person. I've been looking into dogs, but I'm still trying to find the right one. Trying to find a dog that's really a cat. That's what I'm trying to find. I'm looking at an English bulldog, you know, just one of those big ones. And I'm like, that one doesn't walk a lot. I like that one. That one just wants to hang out, you know? Also enjoys dairy. Because I'm still the same way. I like dogs. I like other people's dogs. Like other people's kids. But that sounds creepier when I say it that way. But you know what I mean. You see someone else's kids at like a holiday party, you talk to them, oh, tell me more about Harry Potter. And they're like, and you're like, this is easy. And then they're crying about their phone or something. You're like, no, bring in the pros. I don't know you like that, all right? That's where I'm at. You still got that cat energy, you know. I like it. When the cat video went viral, that's when the people started showing up. And that was a surprise to me. I remember when it showed up, too, because no one ever told me the video went viral. I found out naturally.
I showed up to Spokane, Washington on a Christmas weekend working a comedy club. It should have been empty. It was a holiday weekend. It was sold out. All the shows were packed. And I was like, I think this might be the cat video. And some guy next to me was like, what makes you think that? And I looked at the audience, and it was all just women in cardigans. And I was like, I think the cat video is taking off. And then after the show, all these women in cardigans lined up and showed me pictures of their cats. And I'm like, oh my God, I've made it. Hell yeah. My cat Jessica's doing well. She's still, she's doing wonderful. She's still overweight and chubby, so she's doing good. She lives with my ex-wife. I got one of those. I got an ex-wife. All right, less of a woo. All right, I like that. I got a new wife. See, it came around. There you go. I dropped a lot of information in that sentence right there. I have 2 new cats in my life, Mushi and Miso, and they're pretty interesting. So I'm covered in cat fur. Yeah, you know about them. Yeah. I have Miso, she's interesting. I don't know if anyone has a cat like this, but she doesn't allow any closed doors in the household. I don't know. Yeah, like even if you're in the bathroom, you're just sitting there and you hear 2 thumps, thump, thump, and then the door swings open. And she just walks in with a look on her face like, what did I say about closed doors in this household? It's like living with a conservative parent or something. You're like, there's no locks on the door. So, you know, we're doing our best out there. We've been living out there. We moved to New York. That was a big move. I'm not used to the cold, man. I grew up in San Diego. I'm used to sunshine, and I don't know what a wind chill is. You know, when you read the number, you're like, that's the number. And now I'm in New York, and they're like, if it's this, but it feels like this. And you're like, what does that mean? And that means it's cold, but someone's blowing at you. That's what it feels like. You go outside, and you're like, ah! It is so cold and dry that before I left, I had to put Vaseline on my nipples. Why isn't that in the brochure? You know? No one ever talks about that, it's so dry that your nipples will get hard, and the friction with your shirt will start a fire under there if you don't lube up the friction. That was so awkward. My wife caught me lubing my nips. I was in the bathroom just Vaselining up my little nips, and she's like, what are you doing? I was like, get it! Privacy! Why are you being like Miso right now? I need some privacy. She goes, listen, if you want to try something new, just be open about it. And I'm like, it's cold and dry. That's the issue. It wasn't so damn dry. That's where we're at, man. But yeah, we're doing good. We're living out there in New York. We're trying to make friends. Have you ever tried to make friends as an adult? It's hard. No? Good for you. Good for you. It's the hardest thing on the planet. I feel like they should tell you at school when you're a kid, more importantly, how important it is to make friends right now. Because these are going to be your friends for life, all right? It was so easy. Oh, is it you guys just hugged? Oh, where did you guys meet? What year of school? 6th grade and best friends. Oh, I love that. And she introduced you. Oh, you guys, that's beautiful. See, that's what I mean. This relationship never starts at 40, all right? Right. Like if you met now, you just side-eye each other going, she took my parking spot, or something like that. She parked all weird, and I couldn't fit my car in there. But you guys met at 12, the right age, and then blossomed forever. It's so easy to make friends when you're a kid. Like, I remember in the 2nd grade, I made friends once because the kid had a green shirt on. And my favorite color was green, and I was like, hell yeah, I love green. He's like, come to my birthday this weekend. I was like, I'm there, man. Still talk to that kid today, dude. Can't do that as an adult. I can't just go into a bar and be like, hey, man, nice shirt. And he's like, what? And I was like, can I come over? You know? Can't do that. You will be punched in the face. Try talking to someone like that. They never talk about the hard parts of cat ownership. Just the easy parts, you know? That's every time I'm on Instagram, some lady holding her cat, like, oh, she won't let me put her down. I have to hold her while I do my computer work. Like, that's not a complaint. That's amazing. That's love from a cat. That's so cute. Where's the hard stuff? Where's the stuff where you wake up at 5 in the morning because your cat is puking in your bed? That's the real hardships of cat. Where's that hashtag? Bring that up. Does that happen? That happens often. I remember the last time it happened, 5 in the morning. If you don't have cats, this is what I woke up to. I woke up to the sound of... That's what I woke up to. I heard it before I opened my eyes, and for some reason, I thought it was my wife obnoxiously drinking water. That's what I thought it was. I don't know why I thought that. My wife's never drank water like that a day in her life. But there's something about being in love where you hear something annoying, you're like, my significant other. It must be her. I thought she was just over there going, clock, 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 clock. And I was like, damn it, Emma. Until I opened my eye and I saw it wasn't her. It was my cat Miso going, clock, 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 clock. And I just went, damn it, no. And I knocked her off, but I was too late. She got the bed and she trailed it all the way down to the rug. She didn't miss a thing. I kind of helped, actually. I spread the disaster, really. But that was the moment I realized I am not ready for fatherhood. Because you can't do that with a human child. You can't wake up to your human child going, damn it, no! They will take that child, all right? You're not explaining that to CPS. Like, officer, you don't understand the thread count. You don't get it. This was a wedding gift. We just got automatic cat feeders for our 2 cats out there. Yeah. I don't know if anyone's gone automatic for the cat feeders. But yeah, that's the next level of laziness, right? As a cat parent. Because at first, the cats are already the easiest animals to take care of. You feed them, you sift the litter, and you leave them alone. By God, leave them alone. They have things to do. They don't want you around. Leave them alone. But my wife and I are like, there's so much bending over. You know? There's so much bending over going on. So she brought in the robots. She got automatic cat feeders off of Amazon. And they're pretty high tech if you haven't seen them. Like this one, you can record your own voice. You set the time and you record your own voice. So we tried it out at 6 o'clock. My wife's voice went off. She was, meal time. And kibble shot out. And our cats hated it, all right? They stood about 10 feet away going, what the hell is that? And my wife and I were in between like, huh? Isn't this great? And they're like, They were so confused because they liked the food, but they're like, what is all that? And my wife was confused. She's like, I don't get it. Why don't they like the cat feeder? And I was like, I think I get it, you know? They didn't know it was coming. They're not on our Amazon account. They didn't know Monday was automatic cat feeder day, you know? We'd react the same way, baby. I was like, baby, if we went on a trip, we came home, opened the door, and there's just a giant vending machine in our living room. And then at 6 o'clock, a loud recording goes off, just like, meow! And 2 sandwiches shoot out. I don't think we're diving into those sandwiches. I think we're standing about 10 feet away going, what the hell is that? Just looking at the cats like, did you have something to do with this? Baby, check your Amazon account. Everyone. Yeah! We're here! All right. I like it. That kid didn't clap at all. That's perfect. That kid's like, I'm not doing what everyone else is doing. I was taught that at a young age. One more time for all the comics you've seen tonight. Steven, Landry, Bill kicking us off. It's just been a lot of men with low T. That's what it's been. One after the other, where you're like, he could use a little, you know? Bill had the most, and then it just went down like just a little lower and lower. Oh, it's so good to be here. It's my first time here at the Grove, first time here in Lowell, Arkansas, and very nice. I've only been to Little Rock. That's my only experience with Arkansas, and I drove there. Oh, is there a rivalry? Is there? Is that a Target town? Is that what it is? They do Target, we do Walmart. I feel like you guys got that joke on your own time, and that was interesting. I was like, oh, is that a Target town? And you're like, oh. He did some research. Hell yeah. The way, I think I always knew that, because I landed in the Fayetteville /Bentonville / that's way too long of a name for that small of an airport. Just call it the airport, you know? Is anyone getting picked up by an Uber going, take me to the airport? Which one? Are you trying to go to the Fayetteville, Bentonville / how do you do, Northwest Arkansas Airport? Or are you crop dusting? Which one are you doing? There's 2 airports here, and they're not at the same location. But I found out because I found out how busy it is here because my hotel, they didn't have rooms for me and Steven because they're like, we're sold out. And I'm like, it's Wednesday. So like, I didn't believe them. And then the guy behind the desk was like, yeah, man, we're sold out. And I was like, what's going on? And he just looks at me and he goes, Walmart. I didn't know if that was code for something. I was like, is that the name of a music festival I don't know about? That's happening on a Wednesday for some reason? They're like, it's Walmart. I was like, all right, dude. And he wouldn't explain what he meant by that, but I pieced it together. But he did tell me he was the middle child, and he was often overlooked in his life by his athletic brother and adorable baby sister. But now things are looking up him because he's taking care of mom. And he told me all that while not giving me my room key immediately. You ever have that where someone holds your room hostage and you're like, first you must listen to my tales of yore. And you're like, I have to use a private restroom. Please give me that key quicker than now. But I like that. I like it. I don't know what the sense of humor is in this town, but we drove through and it was pretty fun. There's this place called, there's a body shop I drove by. It was called Bob Maloney's Collision Center. And it looked like someone ran into the sign. And I couldn't tell if they were just hilarious or if that was just an ironic accident that happened. That's a bad DUI, right? You're just like, so do I just leave the car here? How does... save on that toe, you know? That was the one local joke I've had. I'm sorry. I've only been in town for a couple hours, and I'm like, that's pretty funny. There's an auto body shop with a sign that looks like it's been plowed into. It was nice. Flew in today. I don't know. I'm a Delta Diamond. I just made it up to Diamond this year, which I know it's a weird thing to. Are you a frequent flyer? Yeah. What's your airline of choice? American. So what's their? That's your company's choice. What company? You'd rather not say. It's not Walmart. Drugs? Like, I don't... So I was told before I came up that the 3 big companies here are Tyson Chicken, Walmart, and then JB Hunt, the trucking company. Good, we got some... Do we have truckers in here? All right, well, that died down. No, they're out there trucking. All right, that's what they're doing. They're out there not letting me merge onto the interstate. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Hey, you should be driving faster. It's a rental. It doesn't... We're at the top speed. Please let me in. I will die. But we won't dig in. But you're an American. What's their name of their... What's the ambassador elite? Something like that. That's weird that I know that, but that's how much I fly. And I made it to Diamond, which is the top one, and then they send you these badges that you hang on your bag to let other people know that they see their family more than you do. Because it's not a good badge to have. It just means my family doesn't know me. That's what this means. I'm always at an airport. I know employees of airports more than I know people that live in my home. Oh, that just made everyone so sad, because this feels like the heart of family down here. Like, is that your son right there? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? 12, and you're here with us? That's awesome. No laws. I love it. Get him in here. I bet you they're really pushing that 2-drink minimum on you, too. They're like, dude, hey, you wanted to come in. Is it the king of beers, or is it the king of beers? What are you going to have? Yeah. Came in today, and I don't know. I'm trying to get better. I started microdosing shrooms. That's what I started doing. That guy. See, I was on it with the drug. I was close. That was the same guy. He's like, yeah, and I was like, all right, man. We're knocking him out. It's not Walmart, and I don't think it's the chicken company. But we haven't ruled out trucking. You know? We're gonna narrow it down. We got a while. But I started microdosing shrooms like Steve, and I have anxiety. We all have anxiety. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't have it here. Do you ever like make eye contact with a stranger and then you have panic in your heart? No? All right, I do. All right? This is how my anxiety works. This is where I'm the most comfortable. This is where I'm the most... This is supposed to be one of the top 5 fears next to being lit on fire. And I'm like, put me on that stage. This is where I'm comfortable, as long as I'm in charge. I'm in charge of the conversation. But if you ask me something, I'm like, I'd rather not say. Me and this guy got a lot in common, dude. I get it. Microdose a couple shrooms, you'll start answering some questions, buddy. If you don't know about microdosing shrooms, it's pretty much antidepressants for people without health insurance. So that's what it is. I don't have a primary care doctor, but I do have the internet, and I ordered a chocolate bar off the internet, and I followed the back. They're like, eat 1 square a day, and wait for the walls to stop breathing, and then you can go outside. And it's good. I like it because it's just enough, you know? It's not too much where I'm like, put on some Grateful Dead. Like, it's not that level. But it's at a good level where, like, the world happens and I'm like, I'm okay with this, you know? That's pretty much what it is. Like, before shrooms, I would have a conversation with a stranger, like that guy at the hotel. He's like, I'm the middle child. And I'd be like, oh, no. I gotta get the hell out of this conversation. But now with the shrooms, it's like, oh, I'm the middle child. And I'm like, you don't say. Tell me more, Marcia, you know? Or Jan, whoever it was. It was before my time. It was probably Jan. But I like it. It's good. It makes me see the other side of people, because sometimes you're out there and you meet a lunatic, you know, maybe at the store, just damn it, just walking around, and you're like, what's up that guy's butt, you know? And you might want to meet that with aggression, but that's not how, because that just leads to more aggression. But I just see the beauty in that man. Damn it, and I'm like, he's really going through it today. This isn't about the store, is it? It's not about taxes. This is about his dad. Dad doesn't want to talk right now, so he's taking it out on us. I see the beauty of his aura coming out of him, and I'm like, I get it, man. I'm here. Part of me wants to go hug him, but that would be a full dose. If I had a full dose would make me hug him, and then I'd potentially get stabbed. But a microdose is just enough for me to go, let's leave that there. Let's leave that in nature where it belongs. That's right. I didn't even know I had anxiety. My wife pointed it out to me. I think that's the best thing you can have in a partner, is they're a mirror to who you are. You know, they just hold up a mirror and you're like, oh, damn it. All right. I didn't know. Because I didn't know I had anxiety. I thought I knew I was uncomfortable socially, but I just thought everybody was, and I thought I was hiding it well. And my wife was the first person I met that looked at me and was like, are you all right? And I'm like, what? I'm fine. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, what do you see? And she's just like, I don't know. You just look like you'd rather be anywhere but right here, right now. And I'm like, oh my God. Can everyone see it? And she's like, yes. And I was like, I felt like Sally Fields and Mrs. Doubtfire, where remember that scene where he finds out it's Robin Williams? He's like, this whole time, you know, like you just have that moment. That's what I found out. Started plowing the shrooms. But I like it. It makes me social. Went to a concert a couple weeks ago. Handled it well. Big group of people. I think it helped that we went to go see the Stray Cats. And a great band. They're older. They're in their 60s. Killer band. And I think I have a new rule. I'm only seeing bands in their 60s and up. All right? That's the only... If you're not in your 60s, I ain't coming. All right? Keep it together. I'll show up eventually. You know? Because it was the best concert I've ever went to. They started on time. Dude, These dudes in their 60s, they're responsible, all right? 8:05, they're on the stage, ba-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, hell yeah, you guys. It was perfect. Their audience is great because they're also not super young. So they're drinking, but just enough. They're not over there starting fights. They're not breaking up with their girlfriends to punch a stranger in the gut. Everyone's just kind of meandering around, looking for some place to sit down, all right? It's the perfect concert. They're all in their 60s. They're only going to be playing the hits, you know? All their interpersonal. They've been to rehab multiple times. They got that figured out. It's perfect. I'm only seeing older bands now. Yeah. I actually learned a lot from watching the band because, like, I tried to relate everything to my life and to my relationship. Like, my wife and I, we've been married for a little over a year, but we've been together. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. It's my... Sorry, Stephen. Stephen, by the way, I know. I didn't think you guys would react the way I just said it. I found out today at the airport as I'm boarding. He goes, so you haven't heard? And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, we broke up. And I was like, and then it was my boarding zone. I'm like, well, see you later. And then I just had the whole flight to go, did I just leave him? I pretty much had the experience he did with the pizza in the convention oven. Except it was me in overhead space, and I'm like, I gotta go. Otherwise, my backpack's gonna be on my feet, and I don't want that. So I feel for him. I've also been through, because this is my second marriage, so I know what that feels like. Where someone goes, hey, I know I told you I wanted to be with you your whole life, but that was then, you know? That was then, this is now. I didn't know you breathed that way. I didn't know that's how you breathed. And I can't handle that anymore. So I get what that is, and now my wife, we've been married for a little over a year. We've been together for a little over 5 years. And so I feel like we're good at communicating. We've both been to therapy, so we understand trying not to react and trying to go, all right, what's that really mean? I'm sorry you feel that way. Acknowledging feeling. That was the hardest thing for me. Because anytime my wife's like, I wanted to go, that's not what I meant! I meant it's this, and you're wrong for no reason. And I would tell the therapist that. I don't know why she's mad at me. She said I did something, but she's wrong. I didn't do that. So I yelled that at her, and she got all upset. And he's like, women, right? And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. But then he was like, all right, give this a shot. Next time she gets upset, go, I am so sorry. I didn't know you were feeling that way. That must suck to feel that way. And I've been doing that, and it's a bomb diffuser. It's magic. Next time you're in an argument with your lady, and you're like, baby, I am so sorry. That must feel horrible to feel that way. I hate that I was a part of you feeling that way. And then it diffuses, and then you go, but I never did that, all right? That's not what I had said from before. I'm kidding, don't do that part. So the point is, we've gotten to a point in our relationship where we try not to fall into those pitfalls. I think the only tip we give each other is we don't like each other's tone. I think that's what it is. Like, after one of us says something, we're like, listen, everything you said is true. I didn't care for your tone, you know? And I pieced it together while I was watching the Stray Cats. We've been together 5 years. We're like a band that's put out a couple albums, and they've been good. They've had a good raw sound, but this new album, we're really trying to dial in our tone, you know? Like, we're really trying to get a good meaty dom-da-dom-dom-dom-da-dom-dom. But right now, it's a little more and we really want it. Once we get the right producer, we're going to get down to a dom-da-dom-dom-dom. But right now, just like your mother, you know? And once we dial in the tone, we're going to put out a killer album. I like it. I feel like you're taking notes. I like that. That's good energy there. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm taking all the notes right there. 12-year-old's learning way more than he ever thought he was going to. It's going to happen. You're going to have a girlfriend. Something's going to happen. You're going to go, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. And she's going to be like, what? Are you the most mature person I've ever met? And you're like, man, comedy show, you know? It's where you learn stuff. But yeah, we're at a good part. My wife, she's great, but she also points out insecurities in me that I didn't know I had. You know, I don't know when I became the barometer for everything. But like I came home from a show and she looked all sad. I'm like, what's wrong? She goes, I have back fat. And I was like, oh, you do? And then she comes around and reaches and grabs me and she goes, oh, thank God. And I was like, I have back fat? And she goes, quite a bit, too. I didn't even know. I thought my back was fine. I've never looked back there. I thought my back was doing great. You ever look at your back, fellas, and you're like, whoa, all those moles? I just assumed my back looked like my front. It's a road map back there. Moles and freckles, and I'm like, God, look, this whole time? Just a disaster. But yeah, she did that to me. We were on the couch too, and I put my arm around her, and then she was looking at her arm, and then she looked at my arm, and then she jiggled my tricep. She gave a little, and she's like, good. And I'm like, huh? So I was at the hotel gym today doing this one. Nothing shall jiggle. That's what I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to work on my body. I lost a bunch of weight. Like in 2017, I lost 50 pounds, but I didn't lose it well. Don't clap, because I didn't lose it healthy. That's when my first marriage ended, and I got sad, and I wasn't hungry, which is sad, but I lost a bunch of weight. So it's been good. Now here's the problem, though. I've been happy for a few years, so I'm just nom, 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 nom. And I'm afraid it's gonna come back, and then I don't want to wait for another tragedy to help lose the weight again. So I'm really trying my best just to keep it where we're at, you know? Like, just hold on to this for the love of God. My goal weight, I weigh 175 right now. My goal weight is to get to 170. And I don't even know, the only reason that's my goal weight is because I watch UFC, and that's a weight class in the UFC. So I see those guys on a scale with no shirt on going, this is what 170 pounds looks like. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to look like that guy. And I got all the way down to 170, and I'm like, man, these last 5 pounds must be crucial. Like this, because I don't look anything like these individuals. Once I lose these last 5 pounds, it's gonna be like pop, 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 you know? Like microwave popcorn. You can't pull it out too early. You gotta leave it in there. Get all those kernels a popping. And so I'm trying. So I try, you know. And I'm not in bad shape at all. Like I'll like if I'm at the pool, I'll take my shirt off, but I'm not sitting down. You know? That's my fitness level right there. I'll take my shirt off, but we're standing up for the entire afternoon. Like this looks all right. I sit down, it starts looking like a layered truffle cake. It's like, oh, there's the gut layer, there's the first tit layer, there's the second tit layer, and then a little meringue chest hair at the top. But yeah, standing up, this looks all right. I just walk around like this. If I want to get a beer out of a cooler, I wait till everyone's having other conversations, and then I come up, just do a quick side oblique crunch. I'm not gonna fold over myself, show everyone how the sausage is made. I'm not doing that. Just do a boom right there.
Hey there, thank you so much for watching my video. Is this too close? We're keeping it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, I'm gonna be on tour all year, 2024. Might be the last one. So, you know, go to zoltancomedy.com, look at the tour schedule. If you don't see your town, sign up for my mailing list. I promise I'm gonna try to come, and I'll see you out there on the road. Thank you.
So I'm glad we're here. We're celebrating the new year, 2024. Doesn't it feel like that's probably going to be the last year that we... I don't know why, but 2025 seems hard to imagine. 2024 might be the last one, you know? I don't know. It's going to be a big year. We're going to answer a lot of questions, I think. Like, can a country participate in a world war while also having a civil war at home? I think that's going to be a big question next year. And listen, I am not pushing for a civil war. I don't want that. That would mess with my tour schedule. I would not be into a civil war. I hope it doesn't happen. But also, if it does, is it really technically a civil war if only one side has weapons? Like, technically, you know what I mean? If one side's like, hey, and the other side's like, whoa, like, oh, you were serious. All right.
I thought we were just talking trash on the internet. I didn't know you meant it. All right. Anyway, it's good to be here. I like this mix. This is good. I haven't been to Oklahoma City since 2021. Is anyone here at that show? Yeah, all right. One guy. All right. That's what I like. Return business. That's what I like. One guy was like, yeah, I'm coming back for that. Everyone's like, we've seen it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If I had known, I wouldn't have asked the question. But here we are, man. I like it out here. I like it. You just come in, it's nice and flat. It's good. It's like, I love it. This whole area is just like a well-made bed for a tornado. Just nice and, like, I get why it works here, you know? You're like, oh yeah, I can just go anywhere right there. It's not impeded by mountains or too many big things. It can just rip right through whatever it wants. Yeah, it's hard to laugh at because you guys live here. I get it. As soon as I said it, I'm like, what am I doing right now? This is what these people live with. And I'm like, right? Wicked tornadoes? And you're like, yeah. Ha 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 ha. What the hell's wrong with this guy? Yeah, I'm glad I'm here. We flew in today. I came in from New York. It was weird. Normally it's a direct flight, but there's no direct JFK to Oklahoma City. I had to connect. So that's always fun. I looked it up. Nobody. Not Spirit. Nobody. That means no one's doing direct business between Oklahoma City and you're like, what? Yeah, I mean, we can get you there. What time you got to be there by? Yeah, we can do that. You like Atlanta? You're going to stop in Atlanta. And so you're going to stop for a little bit. Good. Yeah, we had, I don't know, man, people are annoying. This is the time of year where people are extra annoying. This is when people fly that don't fly. And they just kind of stand there, you know? They get off a plane, and they'll just be like, where's my next gate at? And they'll just stop in the middle of the jetway. There's a whole line of people behind them going, excuse me, can you die? Can you move to the side and die? That would be great. I have to see where my next gate is. I'm like, you're never going to make it at this pace. I'm going to let you know that right now. We had a lingerer. We were waiting for the next flight to board, this one, and there was a dude, he interrupted. He had the worst breath. Have you ever had someone interrupt your conversation that they weren't in with just their breath? I've never had that happen before. My wife and I were talking, and then I just, and I looked at her and I knew it wasn't her. You ever smell some breath and you're like, I know my wife, that is not her. And it was that middle-aged man breath. You know that breath where you're like, oh, that's from deep inside. That's some long-seated regret and whiskey and an undigested piece of filet mignon that kind of came up. And he wasn't even talking. He was just one of these guys. And he wafted into our faces, and I'm like, ah! And we both stared at him, but he's one of those guys just completely out to lunch, just like, And then we shimmied over, and he followed. And I'm like, what is wrong with humanity?
We're driving to Tulsa from Oklahoma City. Last night's show. It went well. It went great. Tried out a bunch of new jokes. They worked. They didn't work. You know, it's trying out new jokes. But now I'm in this high-end Hyundai Palisade, which I think is the neighborhood where the Kardashians live. This car has a feature, and they really should tell you about these features when you rent the car. Once we got on this highway and we started going straight, the seat just hugged my sides. Like, came up around me like a creepy boss in an 80s movie coming up behind the secretary to give a nice little shoulder massage. That's what this just did. It just went, and it just made me go, oh, I need a raise. That's what it made me feel. It's Emma's day to decide what we're doing. She picked Hobby Lobby.
I've never been.
This is where he wanted to hang out. Let's get this over with.
Stop pretending like you don't want to go to Hobby Lobby.
I will be on my phone a lot. I honestly don't know which one to pick.
Look who came around to Hobby Lobby.
I didn't know they had this thing. Look at this. Human anatomy. It all comes apart in case you want your kid to grow up to be a doctor or a serial killer. Remember Stretch Armstrong? This is the new version. You can pull them 4 times. 4 times the stretch.
I love how I'm done.
I'm not done.
You're still looking.
I don't want to be rushed.
We're still here.
I said I'm a big fan of the Hoblob. Mm-hmm. I think that's Hobby Lobby for short. This is the Airbnb section. This is what you put up at your Airbnb if there's a pond in the backyard. Let's make it look all beachy. We just ate at the Dilly Diner. Delicious. More salt than you could ever hope for. It's one of the best cups of coffee I've ever had. I drink it black, and it's just dark and roasty and chocolatey.
But it's so good to be here. I've been to Tulsa before. It's nice to be back. I like what you've done with the place. I'm a big fan. I like performing here. This feels like it used to be a furniture store. Like you can almost see someone trying out a Tempur-Pedic, you know. The salesman's like, we'll give you a 100-year warranty on this here mattress. And you're like, how long do you think I'm gonna live? You know? Seems a little extra. No one's passing out a deathbed, you know? Thank you, 3 people. Everyone else, I'm like, well, why does that matter? Tempur-Pedic's a Tempur-Pedic, last time I checked. Had a good time. My wife and I checked out Tulsa. We went down to the downtown area. They have different names, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, there's like the big building part, and then there's the other part where there used to be real industry, but now you sell coffee over there. You know what I'm talking about, that area where you're like, oh yeah, that's when we used to do stuff and make stuff, and now there's someone making a latte, you know? We went down over there, we went and ate at Dilly's. Yeah, does anyone know that? Okay. I thought that was it. There's just one guy who's like, yeah, that's a place. Everyone else is like, huh, you ate there? Good luck, all right? I got a real judgy stare from this section over here. Like, he's not finishing this set. He's gonna be running for those double doors here in about 20 minutes. We had a good time. Good food, good coffee. That good, like, jacked up coffee where you're like, I can take over the world. You know? And then we thought about going to the mall, and there was a line, the traffic heading into the mall. We made a last second diverge into a Hobby Lobby. That's where we went. Yeah. It was my wife's idea. She's like, Hobby Lobby? And I'm like, what? And she's like, I've never been to one. And I'm like, it's just a bigger Michael's. And you're shaking your head, and you're right. You are correct. Because I went in there, and I was like, I was so wrong. I've never wanted to own a home more. Then as soon as I walked into a Hobby Lobby, I'm like, I want one of everything. We need a 10-bedroom house with a basement. I need a Nintendo controller doormat. I need 8 paintings of a cow with a hat on it. There were so many paintings of a cow with a hat. And I'm like, that means a lot of people are buying them. That meant they released one painting with a cow with a hat, and the general manager's like, you got any more? Because we're sold out. Might want to do different variations. Maybe some with a fedora. Maybe some with a sun hat. Let's have some variation, because people are getting grabby here in Tulsa for the cows wearing the hats. God, I loved Hobby Lobby. That was so good. Man, they have a giant toy section. I'm 36, but I gravitate to the toy aisle. That part of me has not grown up at all. And it's getting to the point where I'm like, we should have a kid just so this isn't as creepy. That's the only reason I want to have a kid, just so I'm not looking at the toys like, oh, boxing out kids. Like, hey, this isn't... I'm trying to get a look at the merchandise. I loved it. I actually bought a thing. I bought a model car. You know, one of those, like, you put them together with the glue and then you paint them. I remember I had one, like, in the 2nd grade, and my mom got it for me, and then I cried, and she built it. And I remember that's how it went. I opened it, and she's like, how's it going? And just tears welled up in my eyes. I was like, what's a crankshaft? And she ended up building it. It wasn't better. Bless her sweet little heart. She tried. That's not where the steering wheel goes. But I got this. There's like there's like levels. It's like level 1 to 5. I don't know if you've ever done this. And I thought it was like a medium 3 or something. I looked, it's a level 5. All right, it says 13 and up. But no, that's like for like, if you're 13 and you happen to be young Sheldon or something. That's what they mean. Not just I'm 36 and I opened the box and I'm like, they didn't give us nothing. They didn't paint, all the pieces look the same. I was just like, oh no. So I started looking up YouTube videos of other dorks that do this. And these people have tools, they have X-Acto knives, they have one of those lenses with the magnifying, with the light, and they're like shaving this one guy was like, oh, the body's a little warped, so he brought out a hair dryer and melted it a little to form it to the proper, and then he had a file, and he had different types of sandpaper. Oh, you want to hit this with the 700 grit. Oh, here, you don't want to scuff that too much. I got 3,000 grit right there for the wheel well. You don't want to mess up the wheel well. And I'm just watching this YouTube video in my hotel room with an open box, plastic everywhere. And my wife's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I think I'm gonna light it on fire. I don't think I'm gonna do any of this. I'm about to call my mother crying on FaceTime. Going, you need to get to Tulsa. I don't know how to put together this 71 Oldsmobile. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. You ever do that where you think you want to be some way, but you know, that's not me at all. That's not me at all. 36, I should know who I am at this point. Just be good with it. Just be good with it, man. Had a good Christmas. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. We had a good one, my wife and I. We didn't do anything. We didn't visit family. We visited family before Christmas, so we could have Christmas just me and her. We had moved to New York this year, and we just had a New York Christmas, just me and her. We got us like little Amazon gifts the night before. We wrapped them and gave them to each other Christmas morning. My wife got me a robe. That's what she got me, which I've never owned a robe before, and I love it. That was a big mistake she made, was getting me a robe. I'm like, you're never gonna not see me in a robe now. If it was acceptable, I would do comedy in a robe. Just come out like Hugh Hefner, just and I'm in a robe. But it's, I loved it. I loved the way it felt. It's comfortable, but then I got a glance at myself in the mirror, and I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be wearing a robe. I think robes are for women. I think that's who robes are for. They look good on women. Women look good in robes. They look relaxed. They look like they just came from the spa. Maybe got a facial, or maybe they just got out of a bubble bath after they had a glass of wine. They look very luxurious, relaxed. A man in a robe just looks like he got done with some illegal sex. That's what it looks like. It's a little sleazy. Right? Like, you look at a man in a robe, you can almost hear the siren in the distance. It's just a very upset Amish family off to the side. It's like, I'll be leaving soon. I like how people awe at that part. I didn't say what happened. That was your own imagination. You made up your own story at the end of that. But yeah, I think robes are for women, man. Like when my wife wears a robe, it's classy but sexy too. You're like, ooh, maybe something will slip out, you know? I was wearing a robe, my wife was like, oh, you're still supposed to wear underwear with it. Like, what are you? And I was like, that doesn't feel right. It's like wearing a hat on a hat. Why would I wear underwear with a robe? We had a good Christmas. It was a very good Christmas. Got a good robe. Yeah, we went out. We got lost in New York. That's what we did. We hopped on the subway, took it to Central Park, and with all the other tourists, you just went down. You're like, yeah, you were right. Yeah, we made all the wrong decisions. We should have been at Hobby Lobby. That's where we should have been. Should have gone to Hobby Lobby, taken advantage of the sales. But instead we went to Central Park and we had fun. You know, it was a little too much. It was too many people. So we brought a little joint with us, took a little hit. You know, like we're like teenagers in a high school parking lot getting ready for algebra. Just a little something so the equations make sense, you know? And so we took a little toke at the park, and now we're high at the park, which is fun. I like being high at a park. That's where you should be high. You shouldn't be high somewhere else, like the Hobby Lobby. All right? They will kick you out. They're gonna call the police. They're like, this guy's been staring at that cow for so long. He's looking at it like it's a mirror, and
It isn't. But yeah, I realized very quickly New York is not the city where marijuana goes with. That's not, you want all your senses in that city. You want to be up to speed with what's coming. Because we moved there in April, and I've been waiting for the moment where like a homeless guy comes up and starts something, and then I get to use my boxing, you know? Like I fantasized about this. I've been taking a boxing class for 6 years. I've never fought anybody, but you know, I hit the bag and the hand pillows, and if you've ever done that for like an hour, you're like, I think I might be a weapon of mass destruction. I'm pretty sure if anyone messes with me, they're gonna die. I don't think it's gonna go good for them. And so I've been fantasizing about this. I'm like, someone's gonna come up to my wife and go blah blah and yell, and I'll be like, hey, hey, hey. And then I show up, give him a 1-2, give him maybe pivot, hit him with a hook. My wife's off to the side. Oh my God! And I wink at her while I'm in the middle of pugilism. Just give her a little. You want a couple shots? No? He's here. He's here. And then afterwards we go back and make passionate sweet love at home. That was my fantasy the entire time. And it finally happened. We were at Central Park, and a wild homeless man came up and yelled at my wife, but I was high. I wasn't ready. So he showed up and he's like, get out of my face! And he like spit and it landed on my wife, and I was like, whoa! That was my moment. And my wife, we did not make love that night, all right? We had a long conversation about protection and how I need to be there for her. And I was like, baby, I didn't know, like, it was just, that's not the state of mind you need to be in for aggression. You know, like, it all happened so fast and slow at the same time. He was fast and I was very slow. And it's just not how I wanted it to start. That's good. And you guys are here for New Year's, which is wonderful. And for the 7:30 show, you know? What a way to let us all know. You'll be in bed by 10. I love it. We'll be in bed by 10 o'clock with fuzzy slippers on. Watching the East Coast countdown. Try to kiss your significant other quickly before they fall asleep. And trust me, I wish I could join you. I wish. I have a show after this, and I'm not looking forward to it, all right? You know why? Because you guys get it. A good set, like the people that show up to a 7:30 New Year's Eve show, you guys get it. You know what New Year's is, all right? You know what it is. You don't want to start tomorrow with a hangover. You don't want to start a new year. You know what New Year's is, all right? You've done enough of them. You get it. You get it. It's a new year. It's Sunday, all right? It's a Sunday. Let's act accordingly. This is the show I'm looking forward to. The 10:30 show? Those are people that have high expectations for their New Year's Eve. They're trying to make up for a horrible 2023 where everything went wrong. And they're like, but it's New Year's Eve, and I'm gonna drink all the drinks, and tomorrow it's a new me. And I gotta entertain broken people, all right? Those are broken people I'm gonna have to make giggle, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. Because I'm gonna be wishing I was in my hotel across the street, just laying with my wife, just dum-dum, like that's what I wanna go do. But we're doing it, all right! New Year's Eve in a strip mall, we're doing it! This is how it's meant to be done. Not at a 4-star hotel with a live band. No, we want to be across the parking lot from a Chipotle. A closed Chipotle. You guys will never forget the year you rung in 2024 in an over-air-conditioned den. All right, this is getting you ready for the climate change that is coming. It might be too cold next year. You got to get ready for it. Might be too hot next year. Gotta get ready for it. Get ready for it all. All right, thank you guys so much for coming out. I didn't know that's how I was gonna start. But I just started saying stuff. One more time for all the comics you've seen, and I make it loud for them. We're here.
I like it. I was, I was curious to know who was gonna come out, because I'm like the early show was packed with people that I could tell would be in bed by 10, and which I've been in Tulsa for the last couple of days. It looked like most of the township, if I'm being honest. Most of the town looked like they were going to bed by 10. Even just today, trying to go do some regular business. Most places were closed. And I was like, oh, maybe that's for, because it's New Year's. No, that's just every Sunday. Every Sunday is, you guys run Chick-fil-A hours around here. And so I was curious to know who's going to come out. And I like the group that we have. This is a ragtag group. Like this feels like a meeting. I like this. This feels like a city council meeting, and we're gonna bring in the new year. I like that we're the only thing open in the strip mall. I like that. This is the only thing happening. Some cars are gonna drive by and like, whoa, there's a lot of cars parked. Something going on at the Cava? What's going on? People still getting Mediterranean bowls? What do we got? We got 7 minutes to showtime. When do we pull down the thing?
1 more minute.
In what?
5 minutes till.
5 minutes still, so 3 more minutes we're gonna do this. You can tell we rehearsed this to a T this morning. We were here going 5, 6, 7, 8. Listen, I don't want you to think we're running a ragtag situation. We're gonna pull up the finest YouTube live stream of the countdown. We are gonna project it on that screen, and boy, when I tell you, after that happens, I guess we go home. I don't, just split it with me, and we'll do it traditional, Oh, there's the big screen. I told you it was coming down. I didn't want it to frighten you. Make sure can you put Dick Clark, is Dick Clark still alive? God rest his soul. Carson Daly, perhaps? Who's the new Dick Clark? Ryan Seacrest? I'll take that one. Yeah, good old Ryan Seacrest. If someone would have said he was dead, I would have left the stage. I'd be like, not Ryan. He's the picture of health. But what we are going to do is I'm going to bring up all the comedians and my lovely wife to help bring in the new year. Please clap it up. Come on up, everybody. Oh, my wife Emma's coming in first. Come on up, sweetheart. We got Travis, Cameron, and Landry left. He was the orange fella that thought you guys didn't like him. But don't worry, we gave him a pep talk. He's doing all right. He's flattening your guys' tires in the parking lot. This is good. We didn't plan this out. I got 4 minutes to kill with all you guys standing up here. God damn, we didn't plan this out at all. All right, well.
Did you already do the Shawn Michaels thing?
I did that, yeah. Dude, I rushed through that so fast because I knew they were dropping this. I was looking at my phone going, I gotta get through this story before they drop the thing. There it is. Who's that? Oh, we got an ad? Of course. Listen, we spared no expense to bring you guys the countdown. Once we're done getting through these Blue Chew commercials, we will show you. Thank you. That was for 3 people that listen to podcasts. Then we will get to the countdown. It's Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande. All right, this is good. 10, 9. I'm sorry. It's too soon. I also want to bring up, I've had a lovely weekend working with these two, but it also looks like these two would have bullied me in high school for very different reasons. Doesn't it? Like Travis, of course, just bullying me for being short, and then Cameron just for owning a Will Smith CD or something. Are you a big Will Smith fan?
I'm not allowed to get jiggy with it on my own.
No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. You look like you have an eclectic music taste. What is happening? What is this? Oh, I'm so glad I'm filming this. This is going on YouTube. Oh, this is... When I started, I told you we will not see 2025. And this is the best way to bring in the last year that there's ever been. Oh my God, please don't accidentally open your history. That would really change the show.
Oh, bless his heart. Here we are. You want to right click on that? No. Can one of the wait staff help the fella out? Here we are. There, maybe that one. Nope. Wait, is that live? We don't know. Oh, no. We got, don't worry, I got a seconds on my Apple Watch. We'll get to it.
Elon Musk you doing in 2024?
In 2023, the only thing we could agree on is Taylor Swift.
This
you know what we're going to be able to agree on in 2024? Taylor Swift again.
Counting down to the year.
Hey, all right, I know that guy.
Robin Rock. Right before New Year's, rocking in.
It's kind of embarrassing to have way more famous people over my shoulder. And you're like, oh yeah, we could have done that.
We are nearly there, ladies and gentlemen. Have you had a good night here at the Sydney Opera House?
It's the
Have you had a
Australian
good night
countdown.
at home,
All
ladies
right.
and gentlemen? What an amazing show we've had. A big thank you to you for being here tonight. To everyone watching at home, the ABC viewers are the best in the world.
This isn't even the American countdown.
I'm just
I
going
want
through
to
the
mention.
checklist in my head, Charlie. What have we got? A whole bunch of
Couldn't have gone
fireworks.
worse.
Check. A global audience watching. Check.
Who are these
A TV
Aussies?
audience with the best seat in the house.
Yep.
Check.
Thank you to all the bands who performed tonight. King Stingray, Casey Donovan, Brett Perez, Angie McMahon, Mark and Eva Seymour, Genesis Owusu,
guys
Confidence
cannot
Man,
leave.
Harry Connick Jr. and Jess Malboy.
This couldn't have gone better.
Remarkable backing band on drums, Brendan
Dude, we
Tan,
got
on
3
bass, Adam
seconds.
Ventura, our guitarist, Kat Ayala, and
It's New
Timmy
Year
Temple
now.
on
We didn't
keys,
even do a
Dave
countdown.
on strings,
Happy
and
New Year, everybody.
Jasmine
I'm
Barrett,
so
Ashley
sorry.
Goodman, and
Happy
Hannah
New
Oliver.
Year.
Our brass team as well, they were amazing. And of course, our backing singers who were just phenomenal on stage.
I just looked behind the counter. There's no one working the booth. I love
Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? It's almost
No
time.
one back there. That guy left.
7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Woo! Good old Australia. Yeah. USA. 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 That couldn't have been scripted funnier than how it came out.
Thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, I'm going to be on tour all year, 2024. Might be the last one. So, go to zoltancomedy.com, look at the tour schedule. If you don't see your town, sign up for my mailing list. I promise I'm going to try to come, and I'll see you out there on the road.
Wow. now it feels like a meeting, all right? The head poobah is here. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with the next. Oh wow, there's so many people. The fire marshal doesn't know about this. I didn't realize how many people were jammed on to the left. You're like, whoa, wow, okay. I hope nobody has to pee ever in that area. I like it. This is my first time here, the Attic Comedy Club, and I like it when comedy clubs have a name that's spot on. There's no surprises. You're like, we're going to the attic. There will be stairs, all right? I hope no one showed up and went, stairs? Really? It should have been a dead giveaway. This is wonderful. This is my first, I don't know this neighborhood. It looks like you guys are trying to decide which way you're going to go with it. I don't know, I'm not here to judge. I just did a couple laps and I'm like, yeah, okay, whoa, all right, yeah. It's very, like the mayor just kind of went, I don't know, man, whatever. Just do what you feel. So it's good. I've been to Columbus before. I think I did a show at a church. I think that's where it was, the Rivers Crossing Church, maybe. It's like a big ass church. And that's not how it was advertised on Google. It's big. It was very big. I was surprised. And I think that was in Columbus or just outside. But it's good. You guys are named after Christopher, probably? Maybe? I love that you don't know. I love that. You guys are like, are we? He just checked with his wife. He's like, are we? Is that... Is it Christopher? There's also a Philip, isn't there? Good old Philip Columbus. He's the first one to bring agriculture to Ohio. Good old Philip. I like Christopher. Wait, I forget how we feel about him. You guys ever do that? You ever remember someone from history and you're like, wait, did he get canceled after death? If you get canceled 500 years later, that's, you did your best. For what? Like, if they didn't know for 500 years, and then they're like, wait a second, he was the guy that found out the Earth was round, 500 years ago. And then up until 10 years ago, someone with a YouTube page was like, it's actually flat. I don't know if you guys know that. That's an argument now. There's people that are like, no, it's flat. And you're like, that's so, oh man, what an idiot Columbus is. How did he get over there? He went to the middle part. That's how. That's how. Anyway, it's very good to be here. I had a very weird day. I woke up I went to sleep at like midnight. I tried to go to sleep early because I had an early flight, but my wife's like, really? We're not gonna watch TV? And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna watch some TV. So we watched Only Murderers in the Building. Yeah, love that show. Love it. I just want to dress like Steve Martin. That's my only goal. Steve Martin in that, do you know how he dresses? I love that show. I think that's the life goal of all of us in this room. We want to live in an apartment and not have a job. They don't have a job. I don't know what their jobs are on Only Murderers in the Building. Of just not murdering people. I guess they make enough money to do that. But Steve Martin looks so damn classy, and I'm like, I want a little piece of that. Just the attire, not Steve Martin. And as soon as I said it, I was like, whoa, I'm coming in really hitting on Steve Martin. But so we stayed up late watching that, and I woke up at 3:30 in the morning to go to the airport. So I don't know if I really... Do you ever do that, where you go to sleep so late and wake up so early? You're like, I don't know if I even fell asleep. It was one of those where I think I just blinked too long. Was that a dream or a thought? I don't know. And that's what happened. The Lyft picked me up, and I went to the airport early because I got a new credit card that lets me into the lounge. So I go to the airport an hour early so I can get those free eggs. Otherwise, I feel like I'm wasting this credit card. And it's not even, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a lounge. It's fine. I think the only good part is they don't let kids in there. Because, no one wants to waste their free pass on a kid. So it's just no kids in there. But the food is just food you would get. It's free breakfast from like a hotel. You ever stay at like a Fairfield Inn, and then you're like, whoa, how do they get those eggs that sweaty? It's a lot of that, but I feel like I'm being treated better because I have a purple credit card. And they're not allowed in here. So I went early, I got the sweaty eggs. And I hopped on my flight and got to Cleveland, and I didn't realize that that's not close. I do my own routing, and I have a show Sunday in in Sandusky, and then so I'm like, that's also not near? Wow, I really messed this whole thing up. My wife laughs at me so much because I'm so disorganized. She's like, wait, you're not going on no sleep, and do you have a long drive when you land? And I go, no, it's Columbus, Christopher and Cleveland, they know each other. They're right there. Don't worry about it. And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, do you have everything set up? And I looked. No hotels booked. Nothing. That's who I am. And I'm just last second like, I need a place to stay in Columbus. And so then no sleep, hop in a rental car. And I just want a coffee, because I'm about to kill everybody on the highway. Because I know I'm one of those people. I won't just crash myself and be like, let's take that minivan out. So I just saw Starbucks on one of the freeway come off over here situations, and the advertisements. So I pulled over, got in there, and there's like a line, and when you're in public and you're like, people can tell that I haven't slept, and I'm just kind of waddling like this. Have you ever been intoxicated while not being intoxicated? Just kind of that. It was that lack of sleep that I was telling my order to myself in my head before it was my turn, so I wouldn't just go up there and go, huh. It was one of those. So I'm in my head going, you're gonna get a bacon, egg, and Gouda sandwich, and you're gonna get a sweet cream cold brew. That's what you're gonna get. So I'm just standing there going, bacon, egg, Gouda sandwich, sweet cream cold brew. And I know me, and I know my face was showing it to everybody else. So everyone's just standing there. I'm just looking, sweet cream cold brew. I was so ready. I had the order memorized in my head. I'm holding my credit card. That's how ready I am. I'm not gonna dig around. That pair of shorts had a zipper on the pocket. I'm not messing around with it. I'm holding my credit card, going. And then it's my turn, and the lady behind the counter goes, "Ooh, are you paying with credit card?" I'm like, "Uh-huh." And she goes, "Our system is down. You can only pay through the app or cash." And I went, bacon, egg, Gouda sandwich, sweet cream cold brew. And she threw me for a loop with that, because I'm like, we didn't plan this, you know? And she just said, I can't, you can't, I don't, you know? And I just remember I paused for way too long. And then I finally said, I don't have either of those things. And she goes, I'm so sorry. And I went, okay. And then I waddled out of the Starbucks to go drive more. I had never been in a situation like that before, where it was so bizarre, because it was like, I felt like I was in no man's land, because it was like the most modern way to pay, like through an app, which I'm like, I don't have the Starbucks app, or like I'm buying heroin in an alley, just cash. And you're like, nothing with this? Venmo, PayPal, anything. I don't know. So that was that, and then I finally made it to the hotel, checked in. I slept from like 11 to 3, and then I got up, went to go work out, which was cool. Went to the old hotel gym and did a half hotel gym workout. And I don't know if you guys ever work out at a hotel, but when someone else comes into the hotel gym, that you just hate that person forever. You're like, what? You too? Like, there can't be two lonely people at this hotel, you know? And so there's another person there, and I'm like, I hate you. And afterwards, I went to go get a salad at the Bistro. It's a Courtyard Marriott, you know, which I like the Courtyard Marriott because they have food there that you can buy, and they have a Mediterranean grain bowl. I stay at a lot of Marriotts. I know the menu. I don't even look. I don't have to do the, I'm like, Mediterranean grain bowl, chicken, please. And they gave it to me, and I went up to my room, and they gave me a spoon and a knife. And I ate my salad with a spoon and a knife like a psychopath. Like I think that's how serial killers get ready for their evening's activities. They sit there and eat a salad with a spoon, go, oh, I'm gonna kill someone good tonight, you know? And I was just, that's what today's been. That's what today's been. It's just been, you can't get a coffee, here's a spoon for your salad. And as soon as I got up here, I looked at the stairs, I'm like, that's right, the attic. All right, yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, shared it, subscribed to it, hit the notification bell, do all the things YouTube makes you want to do. Other than that, I wanted to let you know that I'm constantly on tour, so go to my website, zoltancomedy.com, and see if I'm coming to a town near you. Thank you kindly.